Hello, hello. Welcome. Hi, Avery. You are welcome to come up and join if you would like. Just kind of waiting for a few more people to come in. Hopefully, everyone's having a good day today. Still trying to figure this out. But happy St. Patrick's Day. Hopefully, you can hear me all right. So, let's see here. Give me 1 second. Oh, okay. That's okay. And yes, I am wearing green. Okay, that's okay. And yes. I am just glad that some of the news that I saw today was for Stephen Smith. His mom came up with enough money to do the exhumation of Stephen Smith. So that way his case can be looked into a bit further. So I'm kind of excited that gets to get worked on just a little bit more and we can get some answers. Yes, yay. I'm still not feeling the greatest, but I'm doing the best that I can. Yes, she definitely deserves answers. Um, because it's just things weren't done properly, and I don't know. One thing I got out of the whole Murdaugh case was um, I don't have very much faith in the law enforcement down there. Um, just yeah, but I'm hoping that this leads to answers because somebody needs to be held accountable. Oh, thank you. I am not getting all of the comments up on my side, so I'm having to look at chat through my second phone. Um, but yes, I am gonna be right back though because I have to cough. So hold on. Now I can see all the comments. I had to pop back out and pop back in. So, but yes, I'm very glad that they're going to get some answers because she definitely deserves answers for this. Um, it's just, yeah. And I'm pinning that. um, but yeah, this is just a come in and chit chat and, you know, see how that goes. Um, I don't know. All I know is that it will be soon. Within the next couple of couple of months. I was thinking. I remember seeing something about it being in July. Um, let me check. But I'm very glad that she raised the money up to do that. It sucks that she had to raise the money up to just to get some answers in this because there's things that weren't right. But I am looking it up right now, so hold on. I can't share it, but I will definitely read it. Oh, thank you, Avery. Welcome, Arctic Fox. But yes, this is via the New York Post. Body of Stephen Smith, who was found dead near the Murdaugh home, to be exhumed. The body of a young South Carolina man from the infamous Murdaugh family's home is set to be exhumed, his family said Friday. Stephen Smith's family announced Thursday that they will exhume his body for an independent autopsy after his July 8th, 2015 death received renewed attention during Alex Murdaugh's trial. Um, Stephen Smith's family announced that they will exhume his body for an independent autopsy. Um, the move comes more than 7 years after Smith, 19, was found unalived on Sandy Run Road outside Hampton County, not far from the Moselle estate where Alex Murdaugh gunned down his wife and son 6 years later. At the time, his unaliving was ruled a hit and run, but authorities reopened the investigation into Smith's death in June 2021 based on information uncovered during the investigation into the shooting deaths of Murdaugh's wife Maggie and son Paul earlier that month. Hi, Dominic. Aw, thank you. Authorities have never publicly disclosed whether there was a link between Smith's death and the Murdaugh family, but some witnesses have speculated about possible foul play involving Smith's classmate Buster, the elder Murdaugh son. Smith's mother, Sandy, shared the plans to move forward with the exhumation and independent autopsy Thursday on a GoFundMe page, which had aimed to raise $15,000 to do so. As of Friday morning, it had raked in more than $40,000. Our family is so very grateful to all of you who came together to help us in our fight for justice for Stephen. I could not have imagined when we began this fundraiser that it would take off the way that it did. Thank you for not allowing Stephen's story to be swept under the rug. And that's what she wrote in the update on the GoFundMe page. After Murdaugh was sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms for unaliving Maggie and Paul earlier this month, Sandy said she was relieved to see the legal action. I know, I don't like that it took 7 years either. It's too long. Now that this case is back over, they can get on Stephen's case full time. News of Smith's exhumation also broke as 2 of Maggie Murdaugh's college friends spoke out for the first time about the woman who they say was devoted to her husband and 2 sons. But yes, 7 years is way too long. And I don't like that it's connected to the Murdaughs either. Aw, thank you, Arctic Fox. Hold on 1 second. I have to cough. Okay. And thank you very, very much. But yeah, that was my big news for today. I was so excited when I heard that, because I mean, he deserves answers. But this is an open panel, so if anybody wants to come up. Avery.
Hey.
Hey.
I just finished stuffing my face.
Oh, you're fine.
I forgot what time you were set for, and dinner got done like just like 5 minutes before you started. But it was okay because I kind of I had been snacking, so I couldn't really eat my whole plate anyhow. But oh my goodness, so I'm so glad that she finally raised the money because I looked the other day and it looked like she still needed quite a few $1,000s, so it must have come in really fast because somebody it was a big, I can't remember which news outlet it was. It may have been Court TV, but yeah, it was Court TV the other day. They did a live premiere, and then Mike from Profiling Evil also covered it, and they put that GoFundMe in the links. So maybe that's why.
Yeah, but because it went way past what she expected, but it was
Oh,
definitely
I
needed.
bet. Shouldn't have taken 7 years, though.
No.
So I did this huge deep dive into Stephen Smith, but I haven't like edited the video and done all of that, but I have all the interviews that the let's see, he was um I can't remember if he was with SLED or if he was just a state police officer. He is not an officer anymore, and he speaks out about how he does not believe that Stephen Smith was a hit and run. His name begins with a P, and it's like right at the tip of my tongue, Sergeant Packer or Parker. But anyhow, he was the lead investigator, and when he was doing all the different interviews, um, they released the recordings, and I think I have like 10 different interviews of people telling him how Buster is connected. But then there's a whole other theory about this other man, and there's a bunch of recordings about that too. I can't remember his name either. I don't have my notes in front of me. There's like four different theories.
Oh yeah, there's a few. But it's interesting that when they're doing those police interviews, that
Hmm.
the Murdaugh boys keep being brought up. So
Yeah, yeah. There was like 10 of them, 10 different interviews, and the people were staying anonymous except for Steven's sister. She wasn't anonymous, but all the other, like I guess well, probably not teenager. Well, yeah, probably teenagers or young adults. They were staying anonymous, but in all of their interviews, they were all saying that they had heard it was like like a almost like a prank that went wrong. Like they were messing with him in the road. They seen him walking. They were messing around with him and meant to just scare him, but ended up hitting him. But then there were some others that were talking about a baseball bat was used. So
yeah,
it's
well, the head
very,
trauma had to come from somewhere because, and
yeah.
Archie Fox is right. His injuries did not align with a hit and run at all.
And I didn't know that the gouges on his face, so the one across his forehead was, I think they said, let me see, let me look at my thumb. 1, 2, 3 inches deep, 2 or 3 inches deep. And then the one on, so all of his injuries were just on the, was it, let's see, the right side of his body? No, the left side of his body. And the one that went down the side of his face was 7.5 inches. Can you imagine? Like that's huge.
Yeah,
So that's why they thought it was a gunshot at first, I guess, because those are huge injuries.
big time.
And I
Big.
mean, how would if he was hit that hard by a vehicle to cause that deep of injuries, then the vehicle would have had to have been going fast enough to have thrown him, and he would have had abrasions and road
Yeah.
rash and
And he
everything
would
else.
exactly, and he wouldn't have looked like he was just placed in the road.
Yeah, because a slow moving vehicle, if the vehicle was going slower, just enough to knock him down and not throw him in the air, then the injuries wouldn't have been that deep, right?
Yeah,
That's what I would think. I mean, I'm not an investigator, an accident investigator, but that's what I would think. I just think it had to have been a hard hit. They had to have been going fast if that's what it was, and then it would have definitely thrown him. in the air, and he would have had all kinds of other injuries. But they said that he didn't have anything, just his face and shoulder. That was it.
Yeah.
Doesn't
And
make sense.
exactly. That and it's just it's the way that he was placed in that road too.
Oh, you have a local in here. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, I'm squinting because I I can't read. Is it me Mia Ron Mia Rhonda? May Rhonda. I
Yeah.
can't read it. It's blurry. Can you read that? Because I can't read it.
Yes. I am a South Carolina local. The word around was they had to hush him up because Buster was going to be exposed as liking guys. So very, very wrong. I'm so happy his mom is getting somewhere with getting justice. Oh,
Oh
me.
wow.
Okay.
So this is somebody who actually got to hear the and like this one guy was saying, there's always going to be rumors, but when there's that many rumors, like immediately after the accident, and there's that many rumors, he was saying, like where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
So when you have that many people saying the same thing, then you have to, really look into that.
Yeah. And it's just
Wow.
there's people that are thinking that he was targeted because he was, because he was gay. I'm because he was out, like out, and just
Hmm.
being his true self. Um,
Right.
so I don't know. There's so many things with that just need answers.
Right. Dang it. I can't. I know that's Arctic Fox, but I couldn't. I can't. Even with my glasses on, I can't because I'm on my phone. I can't see that small.
Yeah, well, I can read Arctic Foxes. The running theory is that Smith and Buster were having a relationship, and the family didn't want it to get out. The horror of a gay murder.
Oh yeah, of course. That would be so bad for their reputation and oh goodness,
Yeah,
stupid. It's just
well,
stupid,
their reputation can't be any worse than it is now.
right? And now he may, instead of worrying about covering up being gay, now he may have to worry about being arrested for homicide.
Hmm. And Steven was tutoring Buster, and they got super close.
Yeah, I did hear that because I heard Stephen was extremely smart in math. And actually, I read that he was just smart, like in all subjects. He was in nursing school, right?
I believe so. Yes,
Yeah.
that's where he
And
was coming back from that night,
well, his
supposedly.
yeah, his mom said he had morning classes. He came home and then he left again. He didn't tell anybody where he was going. And she said that was just like him. He was just like a private person. He didn't necessarily like come in and, tell her exactly where he was going. But yeah, I had read that about that he was very smart and that he did tutor Buster.
Hmm.
So yeah, one thing probably led to another, and then Buster's probably worried it was going to get out. But you don't kill somebody over that.
No.
Oh my gosh, these Murdochs! I'll tell you, the murdering Murdochs.
Hmm. That family, that family thought they were untouchable. No, Buster's going to have his day.
Yeah,
Exactly. Well, that and it really wasn't that far from Moselle.
yeah, 12 miles.
Yeah. So I found that kind of interesting, but I mean, I'm not from the area, so I don't know,
Hmm.
but
Well, in like I live in the country, and when you're talking like country talk, 12 miles isn't far.
oh no.
That's just that's just down yonder.
Yeah. I live in the middle of cornfields as well.
That's just that's just over the hill, and you pass Billy's house, and then you go past Stephen's farm, and it's right down yonder.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
remember when I moved here, and people used to give me directions that way, and I would be like, I'm from California. Can we stick with like north, east, south, and
Yeah.
left,
You need
right.
to go about 5 minutes down that road. And
I
then when
need a
you
number
see
of,
this place, turn there.
yeah. Can you tell me what stop sign? I don't know who Billy Bob is.
And when you get to this white house with green shutters.
Oh, I got to tell you the funniest thing though about which is the one that they called Bubba? Was it Buster or was it Paul?
Um well, Bubba was the dog. Um
Oh, Bubba was the dog.
yeah, Bubba was the he was the one that had the he had the chicken.
I could have. Oh, that's right. But I could have sworn one of the boys was called Bubba, or
No.
somebody in the family was called Bubba.
Not that I remember. There was, Buster was Buster. And then they had Paul, who automatically became Paul at the end of the trial, magically.
Yeah.
Um,
What was Buster's nickname? Oh, Buster was his nickname. Oh,
yeah, his
duh.
nickname was after his grandfather.
That's right. Well, my story won't be funny now that I know it's a dog named Bubba.
Oh, well, you can still tell it.
Well, like, so here in the South, um, if you get the nickname Bubba and it wasn't given to you by like your family, like it's not a nickname of endearment and but other people refer to you as a Bubba, well, it's not good. It's just like you don't want to be a Bubba unless your family called you that. And um but anyhow, my ex-husband got the nickname Bubba and it wasn't from his family, it was from other people. And I remember when I was filling out court papers and we had went before the judge and the judge was reading out something and she looked up at me and she said, "Who is Bubba Branham?" And I was like, "What?" I had typed it on the court papers and they knew in the court that it was what it meant. Like they knew that it was like a slam.
Mm,
I was humiliated. I was so humiliated, but I had heard so many people calling him that it stuck with me and I typed it on the thing. But yeah, it's not a good thing to be called around here. You don't want to be a Bubba.
yeah, that's not good. I mean, I'm not from the South. I'm a Northerner, but I lived in the South for a little bit. Um, I mean, Florida, but that's a different planet at
What
sometimes.
what does her comment say? You don't want to
You
be
don't want
big,
to be a big
big.
country either.
That's right. She knows.
So explain to me why you don't want to be called these. Like what's
They're like,
bad at being above and what's bad at being a big country?
so the only way I know to word it for like here
For
in
here.
Alabama, here in Alabama, it's like an entitled redneck um who's bad, who's scum. That's
Oh,
the only way I know to explain it.
okay.
And,
Okay.
and so like if you're like I don't know, like if you're born into a family and they start calling you Bubba from like one, then that's like a you've been given that nickname from your family, that's different.
Yeah.
But if you grow up and people refer to you as a Bubba, that's not good.
Mm. Oh my
In
goodness.
big country is about the same, even worse.
Mm. Yeah. See, I don't know all these southernisms. There's so many. I've always wanted to like live. Like if I could live anywhere, I would. Like I wanted to live in, South Carolina before the trial. Anyway,
Yeah.
because I always had an obsession with Nicholas Sparks, and all of
Oh
the
yeah.
Nicholas Sparks books and movies are like filmed and set in the Carolinas. So
Yes.
it
You
makes
know
it look
that
absolutely gorgeous. And
there's this one movie and it's a Nicholas Sparks movie and the girl is running from an abusive ex-husband, the lady is, and she goes to, it's in South Carolina. It's where the ocean, the river, and the ocean, the river, and the beach meet. It's like a little, oh, it's a little, just a little area where all three meet together. Oh, I
Hmm.
can't remember the dang name of it, and it's in on the, yeah, South.
I remember the movie. It's Safe Haven.
Yeah, that's it. Safe
Mm,
Haven. That's where I wanted to move forever.
yeah, because it looks so beautiful there. That and
Doesn't it?
yes,
Because they don't show us down here in the South swatting mosquitoes and all the all the
all the
other,
heat and the humidity.
just like Sweet Home Alabama just makes Alabama just look so. Not once did you see those people in that movie smacking mosquitoes and
Oh no. And I experienced that when I was living in Florida. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't like to sweat. I don't like heat. I don't like bugs. And where did I end up? I ended up in Florida. And then I
uh
was, nope, I'm gonna move back.
yeah.
I mean, we still get heat and humidity and mosquitoes here too, but not
uh,
90% here.
when I moved up here a few years ago, I would come sit on my porch to smoke. I don't smoke in my house because I have, my son. And
Hmm.
I had made a post on Facebook one night. I said I think the mosquito bites were clear up my butt crack. I had so many. So you should see my porch for the summer. I know I have at least 50 citronella candles out here. That's the
Oh,
only way you can sit outside.
I mean, because I live literally in the middle of nowhere in Illinois. I'm an hour or 30 to 45 minutes away from like any major town or city. Um,
Hmm.
and it's just cornfields. So in the summer, it gets hot, it gets
Oh
humid,
yeah.
it's sticky, and then the bugs. And I'm like, why did I move back?
And right now you're freezing, right?
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen your temps.
yeah. It's not fun for fibro.
I think I seen on that screenshot, I think one night you're going down to 11 degrees.
Uh huh.
Did I see that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I seen that and I was like, damn, I'm glad I'm not her. It's gonna be a cold weekend for us, but just like the low is like 35. Man, I wish I could read those.
Arctic fox. The pollen is bad in Arkansas too. I wash my car, and 30 minutes later, it's yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I've
It
seen some
must just be
comedy
everywhere.
on YouTube about there's this like comedy people about the South, and they uh they do the thing about the pollen, and
Hmm.
like, I just washed my car, it's yellow again.
Yep.
And he's like talking to spring, and he's like, there's got to be something better than this. And spring's like, well, okay, you asked for it. And he's like, summer just comes right in, and he's like, that's not what I wanted.
Right. That is exactly right. Like fall is I think fall is a good time of year for
Hmm.
the South because, you can at least go outside and have like bonfires and, you're not so much worried about the bugs and pollen and stuff. But spring is poof.
Oh yeah.
But now, if you go buy local honey but it has to be local.
Hmm.
So it has to be made right where you live you know, um, so the bees that make the honey from the pollen that you're seeing everywhere, that's the honey that you're getting. And you take a teaspoon a day and you won't have allergies.
Hmm. It helps make mine a little bit less. I have like the worst allergies on the planet, so I
Yeah.
have to be on like 4 allergy meds during the spring and summer.
Oh, geez. My
Yeah.
mom used to get allergy shots. I think she would get them once a week or once a month. Oh, I can't, somewhere, it was like once a week or once a month, but she was to the point of having shots.
Oh yeah. And yes, Arctic fox. Sometimes that happens here too, especially in spring, because you're like, Okay, what's the weather going to be like today? Oh, I'll just bring my jacket, my shirt, my shorts. I'll just bring everything, you know,
Hmm.
because it'll change in like 5 seconds. The
Yeah,
morning will start out and it'll be, kind of chilly and, you
when
know,
I went to get my MRI on Wednesday, it was 83 degrees, and I was hot. And then today, I think it's like 50 something. So
I would
it's
take 50 right now. I would take it.
I know you would. What's the temperature where you're at, Arctic? I hate that. I see you have your glasses on in your picture. My glasses got shattered in the accident, and I got a temporary pair, but they only let me see far away. I can
Uh,
I have to get bifocals, I think is what my prescription is. So they had to send them off. It wasn't like a 24-hour deal, so I'm still waiting. So trying to see up close
uh,
is hard. Oh,
47
I'm
for Arctic foxes and 70s for Miranda.
oh, where are you at? Oh, South Carolina. Okay. Yeah, she's
Mhm.
gone. You know, I'm so stupid. I just pulled my phone away from my face, and now I can read everything.
You're okay. I have moments like that myself.
Well, I was holding it up close to make sure I'm in the speaker, and then I pulled it away, and all of a sudden I can read
Mhm.
50s and 60s all week. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold, and this was after the weather people were like, "Oh, it's gonna warm up," and I have osteoarthritis as well, so I was like, I
Mhm.
don't think that we're on the same page here, Mister Weatherman,
Yeah.
because something's coming and you haven't said anything."
Yeah. You can feel it.
uh-huh.
My sister has rheumatoid arthritis. I don't know how similar those are, but
Uh,
I know she's in a lot of pain all the time.
yeah, it's pretty similar. Either way, we can literally feel it in our bones.
They told me once, well, one doctor told me one time, it was a few years ago, and I actually didn't go back because I had told him I had went in. I told him that my arms and my wrist, my elbows and my wrist were bothering me a lot, and he was like, "Oh, well, you have fibromyalgia," and gave me this prescription for gabapentin. And
Yeah,
then I got home and I had called my mom and told her, and she's like, "How the hell does he know you have fibromyalgia just from seeing you once?" You
yeah,
know, and then we looked up this prescription and we're like, "Oh, no."
yeah. That you shouldn't be on unless like you are like really, really diagnosed. Him diagnosing it off of your wrists.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's odd.
Yeah, I didn't go back to him.
Yeah, same Arctic. I have fibro and osteoarthritis. So, but yeah, I've been suffering for what, about 20 years, and then 2 years
Mhm.
ago I went and saw a new doctor here, and I I saw him for the first visit, and then I came in a few weeks later, and I was in tears and I was crying because I'm like, I'm taking all the meds that I can take, the Tylenol, the ibuprofen. I'm taking supplements. I'm using icy hot. I'm using ice packs. I'm using heating pads. I'm like, nothing is taking care of this pain. So he went and he barely touched my back and some of the trigger points back there, and I lost it. And he's like, I really think he's like, based on your medical history and your chronic pain, I don't think that any of these other issues are going on with you. He really sincerely thought that I'd been misdiagnosed and that it was fibro. So he sent me to a rheumatologist and she confirmed it. And I was just like, thank you. I'm not insane.
Yeah. I
But
went,
yeah, those meds are pretty hefty. They put me on gabapentin and I couldn't handle it because they kept having to up it, and it was
oh
too much.
goodness. Yeah. Yeah, I went and had I had a follow-up MRI with contrast on a Wednesday. And then I was supposed to go to physical therapy today. But when I woke up, I had a voicemail saying, no, don't come in. Um, they're sending me now to a spine surgeon.
Mm.
So I haven't got my results of my MRI yet. So I called my case manager and I said, do you have my results? All I know is that whatever the results showed, they're sending me to a spine surgeon. So I don't
That's
know what
not
to
good.
think.
I mean, either way, like if you have to get surgery, at least it'll get fixed.
Oh, I'm so scared of that though.
I
So
know.
scared of back surgery. Oof.
Trust me, I know. I mean, I have to go in for surgery for my shoulder, and I'm terrified of that. And I don't
Oh,
even
yeah,
I
I would be too. I don't
because
like
I have
surgery.
torn
Period.
rotator cuff, and I'm just terrified to go in for that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't do well with anesthesia. Um, the times I have had it, I have like violent outbursts on it, and they say it's common. It happens with a lot of people, but I always wake up pretty much handcuffed to a bed with all different kinds of IVs in me, where they've had to like give me stuff to counteract the violent. But the one time they said I fought so bad I threw myself off of the bed, the operating bed.
Oh my goodness.
And of course I don't have any memory of it because I'm knocked out. But she's like, trigger warning.
Oh no, I can take that off now.
You put that up because of me.
Oh no, that was up there from before, from when we were talking about Stephen Smith.
Okay.
But no, I for me, I just have a really hard time waking up from anesthesia, and then it takes me a long time to kind of get to the part where I'm fully aware. But in that meantime, I'm hitting on the doctors and nurses and everybody, and and I have no memory of it.
Oh my God. See, they've never told me like what I say. There's no telling what I say to people. All I know is violent outburst. I know my mom told me one time that she didn't even want to repeat everything that I said. But boy, I wish they'd record that shit and show me.
Yeah. No, I literally had one nurse that says, "Oh, you're back to normal. You're not hitting on me." I'm like, "What was I doing?" And they were telling me all what I was talking about and what I was saying, and I'm like, that is not me. It may have been me, but it is not me."
It's so funny.
And he was like, "It's okay. We hear it all the time. It's what anesthesia does."
Oh gosh. Yeah, it makes you tell your secrets too. I know that because when I had my wisdom teeth out on the drive home, which was like an hour, um, I told my husband everything I didn't want him to know, and he recorded it.
Oh, of course he would.
Yeah, he was like, "Why do you go to that one gas station so much?" And I'm like, "The man that works in there is hot." How often do you skip school? Because he used to always know I was in college and I'd take off and go shopping
Yeah.
instead. He'd be like, "How often do you skip school?" "Well, I never go on Mondays and Wednesdays."
Oh man.
Yep. I said, that should be illegal to question people when they're not in their right mind.
Exactly.
That's what
Or
they should
at
do to
least do
criminals.
it to the right people.
They should
That's
do
what
that
we need to
to,
do on interrogations. Just give them some
yes,
anesthesia.
give them some truth serum. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I
You're
mean,
you're going into interrogation, and we're gonna have to give you this IV here, and
yep. That way you can just let it all out because I would love to know the that Letitia chick. I would just love to just have answers.
oh, Gannon's stepmom.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait. But that's coming up. It's
Mm-hmm.
I still can't figure out if it's gonna be live streamed. I called out there, and I talked to the public relations office, and even they're confused on whether it's gonna be live streamed or not.
Yeah, I heard it is going to be live streamed. There was somebody that I was watching earlier. I was watching Criminality earlier, and she was talking about it. It's going to be streamed, I guess, on WebEx, um, or something, which I've never heard of. Um, but it's just because there's so many that are on docket for next week. Like we have Delphi next week, uh,
Yeah.
which that I'm going to be paying close attention to. Um, I'm going to be paying attention to the one in Iowa that I've been talking about. Um,
Oh,
if I
yeah.
find it and if they haven't pushed it back.
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot going on right now.
Like they
And
have to
then
have all the trials at once at the same time. Can't you like split them up?
yeah, there's another one too, because we were one starts on the it's the Lori Vallow starts on the 10th. Is that it? No, it already started. Wait a minute. There's another one. Which one starts on the 10th that we were all wanting to live stream? Because it's gonna interfere with Letitia. Dang.
I know the Orrin and Orson West
That's
is going
it.
to be
Maybe.
coming up. Yep.
No, no, that's not it. There's another one. There's another one.
There's so
Um,
many.
Dang, we were talking about it on a live stream just the other day. It's shoot, I gotta think. I can't remember.
Was it the suitcase chick?
Yes, Sarah Boone. Her
Yes.
starts on the 10th. Thank you. Gosh.
Her I want answers from too. The
Yeah,
the second the jury sees that video though, she's done.
yeah, yeah. That's the one we were talking about on another live stream, and we were talking because the people that were in that live stream, they didn't know that the neighbor heard her push him in that suitcase down the stairs. And then they didn't know about the autopsy showing all the, the black eye and all the abrasions and fractures and everything he had from her pushing him down the stairs in the suitcase.
Hmm.
And so we were talking about that, and that's the one that starts on the 10th, but Leticia starts on the 3rd, I think.
Yes.
So I don't know how we're gonna cover all these.
I know there's so many. I'm just like I want to watch them all, but I can't because you guys are doing it all in the same week. You're like putting all the good people that
Hmm.
I want to have answers from. Well, they're not good people. They're horrible people, but still.
They did that one time before, and I had like four devices going at one time, and practically gave myself whiplash trying to
Oh yeah.
watch all four.
Because
So
the first trial that I ever dived into was the Murdaugh trial. And
hmm.
I was just like, I've never watched a trial before. I mean, unless you count like the OJ one, but I was a kid.
Yeah,
Um, so I didn't really understand 90% of it. Um, I just knew that things were messed up.
yeah,
But yeah, the Murdaugh trial, and I started watching it on Emily D. Baker's channel because I was like, if I'm gonna watch a trial, I'm gonna watch it with somebody, who will keep me awake.
yeah.
And
She definitely will.
oh yeah, that and she explains things really well. And
Hmm.
I mean, I there's times where I want to watch one without commentary, but at the same time, I'm like, I know I'd fall asleep.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Emily D. Baker is great. She is her whole personality and all the way down to her hair color and cursey words is just I love her.
Love the purple hair, love the cursey words, because I'm just like that. And she's got tattoos, and
Yeah.
I keep wanting to get uh the hoodies with the thumb holes,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I want to get that. And but yeah, it's just her in general. She's just super cool.
Hmm. She did this speech like 5 years ago that I had found on YouTube,
Oh, the
and it
TED
was
Talk.
that might be it. And it was just so inspiring.
Hmm.
Where she was talking about, you can do, whatever you want to do. And I guess it was her probably, leaving being a prosecutor and diving into something else because she just wasn't finding like satisfaction in what she was
Yeah.
doing. And oh, that was so inspiring. And she's
Hmm.
like, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter. You do what, you can do whatever you want to do. By the end of her speech, I was like jumping up and down, like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that.
Oh yes,
It was one
she's
of
she's
those kind
very
of speeches.
inspiring.
Yeah, yeah. But then a
But
few days later, I was like,
true, I do the same thing. I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and then I start getting into it, and my body's like, I can't do this.
mhm.
Can't do this anymore.
That's about how I am. Well, my phone is dying, so I gotta hop down and go put it on the charger. But I appreciate you having me up and talking with me.
No problem. I'm probably just going to just make it a short one tonight.
Okay.
Because I know Brit's coming up in about a half hour. So um
Alrighty.
yeah, she's finally feeling better. So
Okay.
um
Well, good. Well, you did good though. Yeah, I
thank
know you're still learning, and you did good, and you have a really good voice for this too.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And I will try and do this every Friday and just do a live stream. I am
Okay.
working on trying to do some pre-records because my laptop sucks. So
Yeah.
um but I will be in some other channels, and I will see people in chat.
Alrighty.
So
Bye.
bye.